Lovelies, and welcome to your maths lesson today. So we're just going to begin our lesson by looking at sorting some numbers depending on their criteria. So we're going to have a look at a range of numbers and we're going to sort them into this Venn diagram. So as you can see around my Venn diagram here, I have popped quite a few different numbers. Okay, so we're going to have a look and see if we can sort these numbers depending on their criteria. So the first thing that I would like you to have a go at doing is sorting these numbers into two groups. So I'm just going to move the green circle out a little bit because I'd like it to be just two groups that you sort these numbers into. So we've got the red group and the green group. Okay, there won't be any overlapping groups for this criteria. So I'd like you to sort these numbers first of all in your books into odd and even numbers. So we'll put the odd numbers in the red circle and we will put the even numbers in the green circle. So see if you can do that and then pop back to me and see if you have managed to get your odd and even numbers in the correct place. And welcome back, Bumblebees. Have you managed to sort your even and odd numbers into the groups? So here you can see that I've sorted my numbers out into even and odd. And I use the rule that if it ends in 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8 in the ones column, then it must be even, and if it doesn't, then it is odd. Another way of looking at it is that all the numbers in the even section are in the 2 times table. So if you can count up in twos, then you should land on 16, 12, 10 and 8 as you count in your 2 times table. So you could always test that for me and check that I've got them all in the correct place. Okay, so we're going to have another go this time. So I'm just going to reset my board and then we'll have another go and see if we can sort the numbers into a different criteria. And here is my new sorting diagram. So you can see I've overlapped my circles this time, and that is because of the criteria that I have chosen. So this means that we have got all of the numbers in our 2 times table need to go in this green circle, and all of the numbers in the 5 times table need to go in this circle. But it might be that some of the numbers that we have chosen today are in both the 2 and the 5 times table, which means that if that's the case, then we need to put them in the centre here. Okay, so pause the video, see if you can sort out my numbers into the correct circles. There may be some numbers that are not in the circles. It's not a may, there will definitely be some numbers that you can't put in either this circle or this circle. If that's the case, just leave them around the outside. So pause the video now, have a go at sorting them into the Venn diagrams and see if you can put any in this centre overlapping circle, which are in both the 2 and the 5 times table. Welcome back, Bumblebees. So does your sorting diagram look like my sorting diagram? So I have managed to find a number that is in both the 2 and the 5 times table, and that is the number 10. Because if I count up in steps of 2, you can join in with me now. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I reach the number 10. And if I count up in my 5 times table, 2, 5, 10, I also land on the number 10. So that means number 10 is in both the 5 and the 2 times table. That's why it's in the centre here. Okay, now, from the numbers that I had originally, there is only 5 from those numbers that is in the 5 times table and 10, which we've already talked about. None of the other numbers around the outside here are in the 5 times table. And if you count up through your 5 times table, you will find that none of these numbers appear in that 5 times table. Likewise, they don't appear in the 2 times table either. The only numbers in the 2 times table are 8, 12 and 16. And of course number 10, which we've already talked about. Okay, so huge well done for sorting out those numbers. You have worked incredibly hard there because it's not easy to spot those different patterns with the numbers. So for the remainder of today's lesson, we're going to have a look at solving problems involving different measures. So we're going to have a look at a range of different problems together, and then on the website there are lots of questions for you to answer. So the first one is a picture problem. So we'll have a read of it together and then we'll see if we can solve the problem. So it says, Which of these dolls do you think this bed is for? Okay, so which of these dolls do you think this bed is going to be for? Okay, now it tells us here the bed is 40 centimetres long. So from here all the way to the end to there is 40 centimetres long. Now the question is asking which of these three dolls is going to have will be suitable for this bed. So is it going to be the purple doll? Is it going to be the pink doll? Or is it going to be the tall doll? Okay, so let's have a look at the information that we have been given here. So straight away I can see the heights of these dolls. So this doll here, doll number one, as we will call her, just to make it a little bit easier. So she's doll number one. She is 51 centimetres tall. Doll number two is 35 centimetres tall. And doll number three is 15 centimetres tall. Okay, so we know the bed is 40 centimetres long. Okay, so let's have a little think and see if there's any of these dolls that we can say definitely won't fit into this bed. So huge well done if you have recognised that doll number one is way too tall to fit in a bed that's 40 centimetres long, because she is 51 centimetres tall, which means her feet would be dangling off the end of the bed. So the bed is really not suitable for doll number one. So we can cross her off because then we don't need to think about her any longer. So let's have a look at the other two dolls. We've got doll number two and doll number three. So let's have a look at both of those. So doll number two is 35 centimetres tall and doll number three is only 15 centimetres tall. So let's start with doll number three. Yes, she definitely will fit into the bed, but she will not fill, she won't even fill half of the bed. So if this is halfway along our bed, which is 20 centimetres, okay, then doll number three will actually be even shorter. If we're estimating, she might come to there, which would leave a lot of room in this bed for doll number three. So she could have the bed, all right, but we're looking for the one that is best. Which doll do you think that it is best for? Now, if you look at doll number two, she is 35 centimetres tall, and actually 35 is very, very close to 40. So she would be the most suitable doll to put in the bed, because there wouldn't be too much space left over like doll number three, so it's not her, okay, and her feet wouldn't hang off the edge like doll number one because she's too tall. So the answer would be doll number two, because 35 centimetres is very close to 40 centimetres and she would fit nicely in the bed. So well done if you've managed to work through that question with me. Let's have a look at the next one. Now this one's quite tricky. I've actually copied the parcels to see if that will help me to try to put these in the correct order. So we're going to work through each clue and we're going to use our greater than and less than symbols from yesterday to help us to see if we can order these parcels. So it says the yellow, we've got to put these parcels in order of their mass. So the first thing is the yellow parcel is heavier than the red one. Okay, so I'm going to get my yellow parcel and I'm going to get my red parcel, and I am going to say that with my greater than and less than symbols that the yellow parcel is heavier than the red parcel. Okay, right, now we've got some more information. So the blue parcel is lighter than the green one. Okay, so that's important information. So the blue parcel is lighter than the green parcel. So he is lighter, so we will use a less than symbol there. So far we've managed to work out the difference in the four of them. Now what we need to do is work out the difference between all of them, okay? So we've now got to work out the difference between the yellow parcel and the blue parcel. Now I know from this information already that the red parcel is the lightest because the yellow parcel is heavier than it, okay? So I'm going to give that a number one because I know that is the lightest of my parcels. So I don't need to worry about number one anymore. Okay. I'm then going to have a look because I know that the green parcel is heavier than the blue parcel because my symbol here tells me so. Okay, so I'm going to label up my green parcel as number 4. Okay, because I know it is heavier than the blue one. Okay, now what we need to do is decide between these two which is heavier or lighter. So let's read the information. It says the yellow parcel is lighter than the blue one. So here, if we write yellow parcel is lighter than the blue parcel, that means that I know which ones I need to give numbers to, because if 1 is the lightest, then 4 is the heaviest. Which of these two is going to be number 2? The second lightest. It is going to be yellow. Well done if you've said yellow, which then automatically leaves the blue parcel to be number 3. So if I was to put them in order, I would say that it would be red is the lightest and yellow is the second lightest. It's still lighter than the blue, which is still lighter than the green. So well done if you've managed to work through that. That's taken quite a lot of logical working out. So don't worry about using jottings like this if you're working out problems. It's absolutely fine. And also, I've underlined some important bits of information as well here. Okay, so we've definitely put our parcels in order of their mass. We know the red is the lightest, and we know that green is the heaviest. So please don't, look at the pictures, because the pictures don't give us any information. It's the text that we need to look at. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So this one is a problem where we need to do some calculating. So I'm going to just move this over a little bit. Okay, so I've got some space to work. So the first thing I need to find out is my important information. So let's have a look. There are 100 grams of chocolate chips in the bag. Okay, so we know that 100 grams is really, really important in this question. Excuse me. Is it chocolate chips important? No, not really. It could be anything that's in the bag. It's the 100 grams that we need to find out. Okay, so Sita is going to use 25 grams from that bag. So I've got to take my 100 grams here, that was the start of my bag before it was opened, and take away Sita's 25. So she takes 25 grams that she has measured. So the first thing I need to do is work out 100, subtract or take away 25. Okay, some of us will have already worked out the answer to this. Okay, so we could do this on a number line. So let's just quickly draw our number line. So I've got my 100 here, and I'm going to take away 25. So we can take away 20 from 100 straight away, because I know 100 take away 10 and take away another 10 is 80. Okay, well done if you managed to say that. And then I need to take away a further 5 grams. So let's subtract 5 grams here. So I know that 80, take away 5, I can count backwards for this one. So I can pop 80 in my head and count backwards: 79, 78, 77, 76, 75. So I know that when Sita has used up hers, there is 75 grams in the bag. But that isn't the end of my question, because it's now telling me that Ben has used some as well. So let's see if we can work out the total when we take away Ben's. So we now know there's only 75 grams left in the bag. So I'm going to start with the 75 grams, and I'm then going to take away or subtract Ben's 35. So let's draw my 35 in my calculation. So I know that I need to carry out a calculation now to work out this answer. So I could do this in a number of ways. I'm going to use a different method this time, and I am going to use my tens and ones jottings. So I'm going to draw my 75. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now when we are taking away, remember we only need to draw the larger amount. I'm going to subtract the 35. So I'm going to cross it off. So 10, 20, 30. There's my 30 and then cross off my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, to make it really easy, we circle the bits that are left. So I know that there are no units left because I've crossed them all out. There are only tens left. So my answer must be, let's count them, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so the answer, the final answer to this huge problem is 40 grams. So well done if you've managed to work through and answer those questions with me. So remember, use loads of different methods. You can count back, you can use a number line, you can use your jottings. You have so many different strategies to help you with today's lesson. Okay, let's have a look at another one. You might have seen these ones before. So it says sort the glasses from the least full to the most full. So we need to look at the capacity of each of these glasses and work out which is least full or the smallest amount and which is the most. So looking at these, I know that the least is B. So I'm going to put that in first. And remember, cross it off once you've used it and then you don't have to think about it ever again. Okay, right, I'm now going to go for the most because that's the next easiest one to see. And I can see the most full when I look at the capacities is A. So again, cross it off and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, now I've just got left C and D to worry about. So I need to look for the smallest amount in C and D. And you can see, as I can, that D is the smallest amount, and then C is slightly larger with A being the fullest. So well done if you managed to get those correct. Excellent. And then, how much does the sugar weigh? So we've been measuring in grams this week and looking at using scales. So we're going to see if we can work out what this sugar weighs. Now, this scale has got some missing information. So my scale goes from 0 to 100 with a dash right in the middle there. What number do we know is right in the middle of 0 and 100? If you said that it is 50, then you would be absolutely right. It's 50 grams. Well done. Now I need to use that information to see if I can work out the next missing number, because between 100 and 200, there is a little dash with a number missing. It's missing off the scale. Can anybody work out what that number might be? It's bigger than 100 but smaller than 200 and it's directly in the middle. If you have said it is 150 grams, then you are absolutely right. And actually, that's where my dial is pointing to. So my answer must be 150 grams. Well done, everyone. So I want you to head back to the school website where you will find lots of problems for you to answer today. So take some time, answer those questions, and let me know how you get on with finding the information and then crossing bits off or making some jottings just to make your problems easier. Well done and take care, everyone.